Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the Human Chat. Today we have the official images for the brand new LEGO X Mansion set. Now of course, before we begin the video, I just want to say that if you do enjoy and want to keep up to date with all of the latest LEGO news from me, then make sure to subscribe as well as like the video and turn on notifications, as well as follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Links will be down in the description below. But with that being said, everyone, let's get right into it. So after over a year of waiting since the survey images got leaked, we finally have the official images for the new X Mansion, and here it is. So this is going to be retailing for $330, releasing for November 2024. And overall, it looks very good. I have a lot to say about this set, so we are going to analyze every little detail. So by the end of this video, you will pretty much know every single little thing about the X Mansion. And overall, I gotta say, I've been really looking forward to this set for over a year now. Back in around March 2023, when the image got leaked from the survey. You know, it's come a long way since then because the build didn't look that great. It was more of a facade, and now it is a full-on modular building. It's not perfect, however, there are some things that I do have to complain about, which we'll talk about later on in the video. But here's the back of the box, showing just the back of the actual X Mansion itself. And then also at the bottom, it does have a few interior pics as well, just sort of showing a few of the references and stuff. And you can actually see there are a few memes that have been represented as well in this set, which I think are really cool, and we'll get into that in just a bit. You've also got the measurements of the set as well. So I believe this set is going to be 48 by 32 studs wide, so it will be a 32 by 32 base plate and then a 15 by 32 base plate as well, and then you'll be able to connect those together to make the base. So sort of similar to the Natural History Museum, and you'll see that the design is very similar with both of those sets. But looking at the very bottom of the box, you can see that they've actually recreated the Wolverine meme there, where he's sort of sitting on the couch and he's holding the picture, or the bed I should say. I really like that LEGO have included that. He's got nothing to hold, however, which I think is quite disappointing. It would have been really cool if they had like a 2x2 tile and it had like Deadpool on it. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I do like the reference, and I appreciate that LEGO have actually put that in there. So that is really, really nice to see overall there. And you can also see the room as well. You've got a sword on the top there. I don't know why that is there. There was also a picture as well down below, which is quite nice. But yeah, overall, really nice looking room there. And then we've got this room right here as well. We do have a better image of this, which I'll show later on. But this one shows the Storm and Gambit minifigures in this room with a bunch of rockets and sort of a weaponry, which is very interesting. I really like the way it's been designed. And also, I don't know if it's just this room in particular, but it looks very high, the ceiling. So I just thought that was interesting because usually the ceilings aren't this high. So yeah, that is quite nice there, but there's a lot of really cool details and stuff that are featured in this as well. Unfortunately, however, some of the pictures are just not that great. And LEGO haven't really given us too many interior pictures. So definitely am looking forward to reviews coming out of this set. But yeah, overall, it looks very nice. And then moving on to the next image here, you can actually see that we've got Professor X in the chair there, and he's in a room which I believe is supposed to be the Cerebro room, which is quite nice. We do actually have a better look at the Cerebro itself as well, which again I will show later on. And then next to that, we've got another image of both Rogue and Cyclops in a sort of library room. You can see they've got the bookshelves there, and we've also got a bunch of other stuff and a few seating areas for the minifigures and stuff. But yeah, that is quite nice. It seems to be a sort of office, which is really cool there. But yeah, overall, I think that LEGO have done a really good job with all of the little interior details and stuff, and I think that a lot of fans are really going to like that. And then here is the set all fully built up. And you can see that overall this scaling is decent. I think that the minifigures scale quite well in comparison to the actual X Mansion itself. And I think if you compare this with the other Marvel modular buildings, this will look pretty good in comparison to the other ones. Obviously, this is going to be the most widest Marvel modular building that we've seen so far. And also comparing it with the Sentinel as well, I think that it scales quite nicely to that because the Sentinel is roughly around the same size as the actual mansion. However, the one thing that I'm not really a massive fan of is the balcony. Now you'll see that the balcony fits Professor X, and that is it. So you can only fit one minifig on the balcony, which I think is just such a shame because he looks kind of cramped in there. I know he's got the chair and everything, but I don't know, there's just something off about that in my opinion. But I think overall the exterior from the front looks relatively good. The only thing that I just don't like is the balcony section. I wish that it was a little bit deeper or wider, or they extended it more outwards, just so you could fit some more minifigures on there. But here's a front view of the X Mansion. And you can see that it does look quite nice without all of the minifigures on there as well. Personally, I prefer it with the minifigures, however, just to make it look a bit more busier. But, you know, the actual build itself is very nice. I have to give a huge props to some of the designing techniques used by the LEGO designers. I really like the roofs and the details that have been featured inside of them. Some of the part usage is quite clever there, in my opinion, to represent the nice little details. And also the architecture, the curvature of the actual model itself is quite nice. I really like the front pillars as well, and the entrance. I think that is really cool. And then on the far right-hand side, you've got the lamppost, which is the black lamppost featured in all of the Marvel modular buildings. And I like how it's sort of at an angle to represent it being damaged. And you've also got the translucent light blue flame pieces as well, which is quite nice there. And then here is the back of the expansion, which again looks quite decent. I don't know why the right hand side is all grey and then the rest of it is dark brown. I'm not a massive fan of that color choice there. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but it just looks a little bit off in my opinion. Personally, I wish it was all dark brown and the same color. But you can see the Sentinel is there as well. One thing I really like about the Sentinel is that it's actually got the rope attachment to its arm there to strangle one of the LEGO minifigures, preferably Wolverine, of course. And also you can see that on the back they've put a lot of references to other X-Men characters as well. For example, you can see all of the posters. And what really pisses me off about this set is the fact that they've actually referenced Nightcrawler. How dare LEGO reference Nightcrawler when they don't give us a minifigure of him in the set? They have the guts to, you know, tease him in the set and reference him and design a LEGO minifigure of Nightcrawler and not give us him, because, you know, there's only 9 minifigures in the set, which I think is not that great. We'll talk about that later on when we get into the actual figures, but I think that there should have definitely been more. There's a lot of core X-Men characters as well that are missing from the set, which is very unfortunate. But taking a look at some of the interior details, so here is one of the rooms here with Storm and Gambit. And you can see a closer look at the 2 minifigures. We do have another image of these as well, but Storm is looking absolutely incredible. It is pretty much the same costume from the one that appeared in the CMF series. However, it has been changed up ever so slightly. The hairpiece is different, and also the cape has got the yellow lining on it on the outside, which I think looks really great. We've also got Gambit as well, who looks great as well. And that is a new exclusive minifigure to the set. Here is Professor X in the Cerebro room. And this minifigure is just so lazy. And this really annoys me because the whole minifigure is just reuse of parts. The torso is reused. It comes with plain blue legs, I believe. And the face is the Lex Luthor face, which I think works, but they should have made a new face for Professor X. I think it's a complete joke. LEGO expect us to pay $330 and they're giving us just a reuse of a minifigure. I could have made this a year ago. You know, I think it's a complete joke, this figure, in my opinion, and it just shows how lazy LEGO are. He should have had the green suit on, because that's what he wears in X-Men 97. I know it's not directly tied to X-Men 97, but we all know the reason why LEGO decided to go with the blue suit is because they wanted to cheap out. And here's a better look at the actual Cerebro room itself. The Cerebro build is decent. It's not anything special, I'll be honest, but it's quite simplistic. And I honestly quite like it. I think that it gets the job done, and it looks great, honestly, in my opinion. You can also see that they've got the elevators as well on the back, which is something that's featured in a lot of the LEGO Marvel modulars. It was featured in the Daily Bugle, for example. So it's really nice to see the return of that there. So I think that is really cool, and you can also see some of the background of the room. Here's another room with Cyclops and Rogue, who are displayed here. And this one looks quite nice. It's a sort of office area, and you've got this big blackboard, it seems, with a screen on. You've also got a bunch of other 2x2 tiles and stuff on the floor, and I'm assuming that this room will probably have a lot of printed pieces, hopefully, and a lot of references as well. So I'm really looking forward to that, and definitely cannot wait to see the reviews come out, because the official images don't really show the rooms at a great look. So yeah, but overall it looks quite nice, and I definitely cannot wait to see more images of that. And you can also see the back there's another screen, so that's quite interesting there, but I'm assuming that those are probably going to be stickers. We've also got this other room right here as well. And this one has the Wolverine minifigure displayed in it. I'm going to be completely honest, I've got no idea what this room actually is supposed to represent, because the room is pretty much half built and it doesn't really give us a good look. So that is quite unfortunate there, but it looks interesting with the pale blue walls and stuff being used, and you can see some of the building as well. You can see that you can actually take the side of the wall out, like that little segment with the equipment on, and you can take that out to easily access that room. So then there is a nice addition there. And you can also see on the table, they've actually got these little miniature rocket builds as well, which are also supposed to be part of the room. Something that is quite interesting there. And I also find it interesting how they've got the flame pieces on the walls. So that's quite cool. And then here's a better look at the Sentinel, a lifestyle picture showing the size of it. And I got to say, the Sentinel looks very good. This is honestly one of the highlights of the set, in my opinion, because the previous Sentinel that we got back in 2014 in the original X-Jet, it looked okay, but it looks absolutely terrible compared to the new one. I think that Lego absolutely knocked it out of the park. I love the 3x3 cylindrical piece that they've used for the head there, instead of the dome piece that they gave for Wolverine in the CMF Series 2. So they've scaled it up significantly from the 2014 version. And also, I love all of the shoulder pieces as well that they've used, and it really looks bolt up, which I absolutely love. And also the color combo as well with the purple and the pink, I think it looks phenomenal. I also really like how it's got the sort of pinholes in the back, so you can actually attach the curved translucent pole pieces and have Gambit displayed on top of the Sentinel attacking him with the cards, which I think is a really nice touch there. And overall, I think that looks really great. Now, for those of you wondering about Gambit, apparently the piece that he's actually using there is from Ninjago, so it isn't a new piece or anything, but personally, I don't really mind that because I think that it actually looks pretty good with all of the cards and stuff, and I think that the part usage is quite clever there. But I've heard a lot of people saying this, and I personally agree with it. I would absolutely love for Lego to release a separate Sentinel set, have it as an army building sort of set, sort of similar with what they did with the Leviathan from the Avengers Tower, where they released a big Leviathan build in the actual tower, and then they slightly modified it and released it as its own separate set. I think that would be cool if they did that with the Sentinel. It would sell out extremely well. And then here is a lifestyle picture of the set fully built up, and you can see that it is relatively large. I think the height isn't all that. However, it is very wide, and I think that the other official images and the renders don't really sort of take into account how large it actually is. It is a pretty wide building, and I think the dimensions are roughly going to be the same as the Natural History Museum. So if you are wondering, then just look at the measurements for that one. But yeah, overall, it looks really great. And I cannot wait to see this displayed with the other Marvel modular buildings. So we have this set, the Avengers Tower, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and the Daily Bugle. Quite early to make a prediction, but my prediction is for 2025, the next Marvel D2C modular building set is going to be a Baxter building from the Fantastic Four. So I'm really hoping that they do that, and we do know the Fantastic Four will be returning for next year, or making a debut, I should say, of course, and they will be getting sets based off the new film. But let's take a look at the minifigures, because I think this is a big draw in the set, in my opinion. So the first figure we have is Gambit. He looks really good. I absolutely love this minifigure. The hairpiece is great. I'm glad that they didn't use the Han Solo hairpiece, which we saw in some of the original leaked images. They're using the one from the BTS Dynamite set, which I actually think looks decent. It doesn't look too bad. The face print looks quite good as well. I'm hoping that the actual printing for the face isn't too off, because it is printed on a black head. Torso and leg printing is top notch as well. Here we have Iceman, who looks phenomenal. Now, the only complaint I have about this minifigure is the face print. I don't know, there's just something a little bit off with the smile. But besides that, the rest of the figure looks amazing. I love the torso printing. It even comes with leg printing as well. Lego could have easily just skipped out on the leg printing and just gave us plain white legs, but they actually decided to print some details on there, which I absolutely love, and I think it looks fantastic. I love how it's a white minifigure and the prints are all light blue to sort of represent the iciness that he has, of course, because he is Iceman. So I think that Lego have done a really great job with that, and also we can add him to the Spidey and his Amazing Friends collection. Here is Magneto, who again looks really good. Great to see the return of the helmet piece there. I believe that is the same piece, or it might be slightly new due to the mold of the top section there, having the sort of symbol sticking out. I'm not sure if that is present on the old version, but overall it looks very good. The torso printing looks quite nice as well. However, I don't know if it's just me, but the way that the abs have been printed, he looks kind of fat. The original one, I'm pretty sure, had a six-pack, so I don't know what's happened there. He's also using the new rubber cape as well in purple, which is quite nice, and unfortunately he doesn't have any leg printing, which is very unfortunate. Here we have Rogue, who is the exact same minifigure that appeared in the X-Jet. She's fine. She's a good minifigure. I don't really like the hairpiece, and I did think that originally when the X-Jet released, but it has leg printing, and overall it's a decent figure. Here is Cyclops. This is the exact same figure that appears in the X-Jet. However, Lego have actually added leg printing to the figure, which I think is a massive W in my opinion. I'm really happy that Lego have done that, and I think that it just makes the minifigure look so much better. I mean, the leg printing just really transforms this minifigure from a 5 to a 10 in my opinion. And I think that Lego have done a really great job with this Cyclops. I definitely cannot wait to add this one to my collection. And I also really like the accessory that he's got with the laser as well. I think that looks really cool. Here we have Bishop, who looks bloody phenomenal. I absolutely love this minifigure. It's using the same hairpiece from Mordo from the Sanctum Sanctorum set. Torso printing and leg printing is top notch as well, and that face print looks really cool there as well. Love the scar in his eye. I just think it looks so good. But yeah, I cannot wait to add this minifigure to my collection as well. Bishop and Gambit are the two that I'm most looking forward to adding. And then here we have Storm. Again, really great looking minifigure. I believe the face print is new as well. The hairpiece is a recolor, and she also comes with a new print for the cape because she's got the yellow outlines on the outer rim. The torso printing, I think it's a little bit different. It doesn't have any leg printing, which I think is quite unfortunate. I would have loved if they just reused the legs from the CMF Storm, but I think because the rest of the minifigure is so good, I'll let Lego off for that one. And it's honestly not such a big deal because if you do have the CMF one, you can easily switch it out. But I honestly think that her outfit is quite simplistic, so the leg printing wasn't really necessary. And because just the top half of the minifigure looks so good, I will let it slip with the leg printing there. But yeah, overall, really great minifigure, and I wasn't expecting to like the minifigure this much as well. Like, it looks really good. And then next to her, we do have Wolverine, which I am so angry about because this is the same Wolverine that appears in the X-Jet, which I get. But Lego have also made a much better version of this Wolverine minifigure that appeared in the CMF Series 2, which had arm printing, and it also had dual molded legs. The legs in this minifigure suck. I don't know why they, didn't just give him the dual molded legs. And the fact that this set is $330, and we get the worst version of this minifigure is just a complete joke. And also, we've had 3 versions of the X-Men 97 Wolverine. I would have loved to have seen a brown suit Wolverine or even just a generic Logan minifigure. So yeah, I think that minifigure is just a complete waste in my opinion. And then we also have Professor X. Again, absolutely terrible minifigure, probably one of the worst ones in the set, mainly because of just the fact that it's just all reuses. I just think it's such a lazy job by Lego, a multi-million-dollar company, and they just reuse all the parts. However, I do really like the chair build. I'll give Lego that. It looks really great, and it's great to get a official build for Professor X's iconic yellow chair. But those are all of the minifigures, so you get 9 figures in the set, which is a bit of a letdown in my opinion because it's so expensive. The set $330, we get 9 minifigures. The Daily Bugle is roughly around the same price, I believe, and that comes with over 20 figures. So the fact that we're only getting 9 in the set is just so disappointing. There's so many minifigures that we could have seen. Nightcrawler, for example, even Mystique. There's so many other characters that Lego could have done, and they just decided to skip them all. And then here is sort of an image showing the modularity of the expansion. So you can actually split into 6 different parts, which I think is quite cool. So there is a lot of modularity with this, and it's quite easy to access all of the rooms and everything as well. But there we go, everyone. With that being said, this is the end of the video. That is the X Mansion. Over a year we have been waiting for the set, and the journey is finally over because we have the full set of official pictures. Overall, I think the set is good. However, it's definitely not perfect. Minifigures are a massive letdown for me personally. I'm really hoping that we get more X-Men sets in the future where Lego introduce more characters, because I think that they just left out so many important characters in the set. The actual mansion itself looks pretty good, I will say. There are a few flaws with it here and there, and the Sentinel build is amazing. I absolutely love that. But I would love to know down in the comments below what you think about the set. Will you be buying it as soon as it does release? Me personally, I will be buying it at some point, but probably not when it releases, because I don't think there is a gift with purchase with the set either, because we haven't heard anything about it. So, but I'll talk to you guys soon. So peace out, see you later, and bye-bye.